Yes, as Michelle mentioned, I work for doula agency Bridgetown Baby. So I am an independent contractor as a doula and a lactation consultant. But the last year I've taken on a new role. So I am now take care of the admin. I'm the family care director. So I take care of booking all the lactation consults, all the admin. So it's kind of like evolved. So I do a little bit less on hands care now. So the way I got into it was obviously 4 children. I had a terrible time with my first baby and my fourth, which I'm sure that's how most people get into it. So I got as much help as I could, and then I decided I wanted to do the same thing. So I became a Lactation leader, and that's how I got my experience, same as Aria. So I believe that's pathway 1. Forgive me if I'm wrong. So that's how I got my experience, and I did my education at PSU with Dixie. And then it's hard to get into this private practice, so I decided I was going to train as a doula as well. And so I met Bridgetown, and they took me on as an IBCLC and doula, and it kind of works really nicely hand in hand. And the thing I really love about it is just like, especially when I'm doing doula work and the lactation, is you get to spend so much more time with the families. And that's like my favorite part of it. So a typical day for me, I guess, is I spent a lot of time at home on the computer booking in consults. We've just started contracting with the Lactation Network, and that has brought in so many more clients. So I have a team of 5 IBCLCs. So it's a little bit different where it's just not one person. So we are a group, and everybody is an independent contractor. So I will figure out who is the closest, who has the most availability, and then I will send the lactation consultant out to them. So that's most of my day, booking consults and booking doula work. And so I spend a lot of time on talking to the clients, seeing where they are, how soon they need the care. That's what's great about being an IBCLC to start with. It's like I can figure out who needs that care urgently. You know, if I get a family in with a 1-day-old baby, we're going to try and find them care as soon as possible. Whereas if just have someone calling me who's got maybe a 2-month-old, few problems there, we can maybe wait a little bit longer. So that's what's kind of nice being the IBCLC as well. Then the other thing we have at Bridgetown, which is like really phenomenal, I love, is we have something called Danish doula package. So it's like you get an IBCLC visit, and then you get 2 follow-ups, and then you also get doula hours as well. And that's just like my favorite thing to do, because you're there for like 4 hours in the daytime, so you can like see 2 feeds, not just, and you don't feel so rushed, and you can like go over like baby wearing and just like all those other things, reassuring a family of, you know, just what they need to be, you know, how to help them, just make them see that they are doing such a fabulous job. Whereas like in a hour consult, sometimes I feel like it's a little bit not rushed, but can't always cover everything you can. But that's what's also great about now we've got the Lactation Network. They get 6 visits covered, so that you don't, it's like great. So you know you can go back in like 3 days and do another consult, and they get 6. It's wonderful. It's like been the best thing for us. And even if they need more, we can still push back through to the insurance, and they will get them some more care. It's great. It's fabulous. I really like it. So yeah, and then if I have gone out and done a lactation consult, sometimes it's usually only 1 in the daytime I'll do, but then I come home, I have to do all the charting. So there's all that extra work to do on top. It's not just like going to the visit, you come home, you have to do the chart, then obviously send that to the family. So there's lots of behind the scenes work that I didn't really anticipate, I guess. Like maybe you're in a hospital, you're kind of doing it while you're on the clock. But I find, yeah, with private practice, you're coming back later and you're doing all your charting and all your follow-up. And so you've got all that extra work to do on. It's not really on your own time, but it's kind of your back home for the day. and then you do all those extra bits. I made some notes here. So what skills are necessary for my job? What as I said earlier, it's like understanding the lactation support was really key to me doing the job I'm doing now. I think just knowing how urgent care is, and knowing which lactation consultants are the best ones to get out, who's got this certain kind of experience. So I think that's really helped. And then for private practice, I really feel like you've got to be driven, and you've got to be a motivator, and you're motivated and wanting to like network. It's like, it's not going to happen, I don't think, by just like, I think I need someone to do it all for me. So that's why I like being part of the agency. It's great because the work comes in, whereas I don't think I have the drive to be in private practice. Whereas Robin, who came through, you probably all know Robin Nunes, she's fantastic. She came through the same time as me, and she's just taken off with her private practice. She's like really driven to do it. So I do think for private practice, you've got to be very self-motivated. But the agency is brilliant. I love like this little kind of in between. It's a really good way to do it. Yeah, and it's hard because you've got to get out you've got to be out in the community. You've got to get to know everybody. I feel like I know a lot of people, but I just don't think I could run my own private practice. I think there's a lot of because I see all the paperwork that has to get done, because I guess I do all the paperwork for the lactation consultants. It's great. I file everything to TLN. I do all the make all the charts for the lactation consultants. I like to make it as easy for group. They literally just get given a chart and they go out and stuff, and then I do all the filing and all the boring paperwork, which I love. I don't know why, I just love admin. It's great. So that's the things I like most about my job. What do I like least about my job? I think it was driving around for home visits. I love that. It's just like, just being like going all over the cities. I mean, it's not so bad now. I feel like the traffic's calmed down, but having to go across the east side to the west side was just not for me. And like, I like to keep it local. So I think if you could have like your own office, that would be amazing. Just people coming to you. But other people like driving around and getting to, especially if they're savvy, like planning out. So that's definitely my least favorite. And like, I would, anybody wanting to get into lactation as a private practice, definitely get out there and get yourselves as much exposure as you can, talking to those healthcare professionals and networking with as many people as you can. I just feel like that is key. And if you want to be a doula, that's also an awesome way to get into it as well. It's kind of another way to just be working with families. It's we have many IBCLC doulas on our team.